A few years ago, I was at a house party and all of my friends were dancing apart from me, really wanting me to dance. Elise, come on, dance. And my reply was, I'm not drunk enough to dance yet. I'm too shy. Now, maybe you've heard this line before, and maybe you've told yourself that you're too shy in whatever environment that you're in, whether it be at a party or whether it be a work opportunity or whether it was to ask that person out that you're interested in, I'm too shy. For most of my life, I told myself that story. I'm too shy. I'm too shy. An opportunity would pop up and I would say, I am too shy. The thing is, our words are so powerful, and the words that we speak out loud are 10x'd versus the ones that we keep to ourselves. So when you're saying things out loud, you are basically hypnotizing yourself into believing that thing is true. So who do you want to be? Do you want to be the shy person, or do you want to have that confidence? For me, I wanted to be confident. I started to question myself. Why am I not dancing with my friends? These people are my friends. Why do I feel like I need to get blind drunk to then at least have some level of fun? Where had I forgotten how to have fun along the way? If you're listening to this episode right now, welcome to the Generation Elevation podcast. My name is Elise and I'm a high performance mindset coach helping teams and corporates elevate their performance to the next level, how to handle stress under high pressure environments, and to access the intuition so you can be one step ahead of your game. The words we speak are super important. So, what are the things that you're telling yourself? Now, for myself, I noticed this pattern of being too shy, and really craving that confidence, but not knowing how to get there. So, I'm sure if you're listening to this episode, you would know what the comfort zone is. We all have a comfort zone. It's what feels safe. What we are used to, our daily routines. It's regular, it's known. But the truth is, the magic happens in the unknown. Those opportunities, those exciting experiences that you are craving deep down in life, that all happens in the unknown. So, how can we get used to or feel brave enough to step outside of the comfort zone more often so that we can experience the magic of the unknown without worrying about worst case scenario? Because right, when we don't know what's going to happen, our brain will try to protect us by creating and making up all of these stories of what if worst case scenario. I know you do this. So if you're listening and thinking, wow, she's reading my mind right now, how do I get beyond this? I'm going to share with you how I did this, how I developed my own deep inner confidence so that I traveled the world and able to speak in front of like tens and hundreds of people and do these events and talk to random strangers in the street, ask someone out if I wanted to, and also like train crazy numbers in the gym, wear whatever I want. Like these are all the things that have pushed me out of my comfort zone in my journey to now at a level where I've had the most confidence that I've ever had in my entire life. So whether your goals are relationships, whether your goals are fitness related, whether your goals are business related, confidence is key. Now, for me, like I said, I was convinced that I was shy. And so I decided, okay, what are the things that scare me? I wrote a list. I wrote a list of all the things that scared me. The idea of me doing them was way out of the comfort zone. What were those things? Being the only girl at the skate park, learning how to drop in on the half pipe, going to a festival. At this point in time, like all I did was do personal training and all I did was hang out with my boyfriend at the time. I didn't really have much else of a personality. So I was discovering who I was. And I thought, okay, why don't I go and get dressed up and go to a festival and experience music and see if that is fun for me. So I started to go out to more social events. I started to learn how to skateboard. I actually decided that one of the things that would scare me is doing a dance concert. I grew up dancing. So to lose that love for it, not because I didn't love it anymore, but because I was scared, scared of what other people thought of me or if they were to judge me. I was like, the scariest thing would be to go back and do a dance concert. So I, at that time, started going to festivals. I started going to the skate park on my own. My little brother even came with me some of the times because I was really scared to be the only female there. And I also signed up to do some dance lessons. Mind you, I was the oldest person in the room. So the people in the room that I was with, the class, they were like 5 years younger than me. And there were so many thoughts I remember at the time that came up like, oh my gosh, like you're way too old for this. Like this is embarrassing. These were the negative thoughts that I had at the time that were actually the voice that comes up at the edge trying to protect me. So I wrote a list of all the things that scared me and I started doing them. Now, if you are wanting to gain confidence in life, I want you to right now think of that thing you really want to do that scares you. It could be one thing, it could be a couple. I want you to write them down and, like a checklist, tick them off. Because the more you do the things that slightly push you out of your zone or slightly scare you, the more confidence you grow because you realize when you do that thing, oh, wait, you don't actually die. Or, well, wait, you do that thing and it turned out really amazing. I ended up dropping in on the half pipe. I ended up meeting lots of beautiful friends when I was going out to more social events. And I also did the dance concert. This helped me grow a level of self-trust to a point where I knew that if I set my mind to something, I was most likely to go and do it. Not because I had the discipline or the motivation per se, but more so the courage to commit to something that was outside of my comfort zone. So if you had a goal recently where you found that you've kind of nearly got there, but maybe you haven't yet, or there's been no progress, you feel stagnant, I want you to ask yourself, what are those limiting beliefs or the blocks that keep coming up for you? Because more than likely, it's just those thoughts at the edge of your zone trying to keep you comfortable. Our subconscious mind, which at 90% of the time we are run by, is always focused on keeping us safe. So if that thing that we want to do outside of the comfort zone feels unsafe, then at the edge, when we go to take that action or step forward, there'll be that guardian, the gatekeeper, the mind that comes up to say, hang on. Wait, are you sure? Are you sure you're ready? Are you sure this is perfect? Maybe this is not the right time for a relationship. Maybe this is too challenging and it's not the right person for me. Maybe I need to wait till I'm smart enough to start my business. Or maybe I need to practice more to finally try out for that team. Or maybe I'm not ready yet to ask for that promotion. Like, where are you blocking yourself? Because know that that's your edge. Do the thing. Practice doing the things that scare you, and the bigger your comfort zone then begins to grow. Now, I'm so excited to share with you that one of the things that was really, really outside of my comfort zone was being witnessed by someone whilst I sing. I used to really enjoy singing as a child, and as I got older, the fears of being judged, being criticized, really blocked me from then practicing and honing in on that skill. As I've gotten older and the more I facilitate my classes, the more I do this podcast, I realize the power of your voice and tone. And for me, I convinced myself that I need to learn how to sing properly, because then I can access different parts of my voice. This is important to me. And even though this thing has been so far in the uncomfortable zone for me, I knew that I needed to do it. And I reframed my mindset to a point where I just knew I needed to go all in. So finally, I booked a session with a teacher, and I rocked up to the session and I was nervous. I felt the nerves come through. My body stiffened up. And the teacher, his name is David, he's incredible. He held my hands and he was like shaking my hands and trying to move me around in a way where it was teaching me that, oh my gosh, I was singing it, but I was stiff as a board in my body. My body was frozen. And then he asked me, Elise, okay, just sing this song, go for it. And I had this split second where I was like, oh my gosh, like this person has just asked me to sing fully for them, and that all the thoughts that come up at my edge came through. Well, what if it's not good enough? And the more you do this work, the less time there is between the thought, I'm going to do this, and then the action. You get used to taking fast action. At the start, I would have had a delay time between a thought and an action, and therefore maybe would have procrastinated, would have taken longer, maybe wouldn't have committed fully as quickly. But because I have done this work several times and I've expanded my comfort zone enough to know that the unknown is where the magic happens, I went all in. And for the first time ever, I sang full out a song for another person. Now, if you're thinking I'm going to sing for all of you guys on this episode, you're mistaken. This is a little baby that I'm nurturing for now. And maybe one day I will share my singing voice with you all. However, what I do want to share and get across is that that thing for me was really scary. And because I've done this work, the thought between taking the action and then actually doing it was so small. There was no room for any limiting beliefs to block me. And you know what the thought was? It was like, well, literally, fuck it. I've got nothing to lose. I'm here to learn. And having an open mind, an open heart to potentially getting it wrong or failing, because in that failure or in that getting it wrong or choosing a wrong path, you learn. And you actually learn that there's never a wrong thing that you can do or choose, because in that mistake, you learn so much that propels you forward to the path that you're destined to live anyway. So I'm going to wrap up this episode here. If you take away anything, it is to write a list of all the things that scare you, all the things that are out of your comfort zone, and start ticking them off one by one. The more that you do those things, the more that you prepare your nervous system and body to get ready for those uncomfortable moments. So when the time does come, when the push comes to shove, you know that there is less time between the decision and action. You don't faff around procrastinating, delaying, being indecisive. You can make fast decisions straight away in the moment. And that is what this will teach you. So write that list, start ticking them off. And I'd love to hear that thing that scares you, what you do this week that you take action towards to grow your comfort zone.